Greetings, my Rift-Cateers! Hopefully you are well today. Today we are just going to run around Tempest Bay for those of you new players. We'll talk about some equipment and some wardrobe. First of all, this is the crafting area. All the different stations for the different crafting skills. They added a third porticulum right back here when they did the last expansion. And that's that, but there's two other porticulums. All this up here is just nothing you really need, like a staging area basically. You can jump down in that water, and there is like a hidden vendor in this corner. Can't see him right now, but it's like a mermaid looking dude. It's a secret vendor down there, but you don't really need him. There's a couple just dimension vendors and etc. stuff down here, extra kind of stuff. A couple of mounts, or this vendor sells these mounts right here. Another vendor. Here's the second porticulum for Tempest Bay. Down here there's some more dimension people, but also down here there's some fishing and survival people for questing and skill quests and stuff. Well, we're going to go the long way up to what used to be the only porticulum in Tempest Bay, all the way up these stairs. So here's the original porticulum of Tempest Bay, or the upstairs portion of it. This is an interesting story. This is the a patron quest. So for those of you who don't know, patron is the optional subscription payment method, where if you pay it, you get all this extra stuff. It's worth having. I just don't have it right now. But you could get a special quest just for patrons every month, and when you finish that quest, you can turn it in. However, when you finish it, you still have to be a patron. So even though I have the blue check mark and it's finished, I can't turn it in because I'm not a patron. So that'll stay there, that blue check mark, for a while until I get patron back. I go off and on with it now, nowadays. So here's just some more Tempest Bay. It's kind of an odd situation because Tryon made the choice to not really have a crafting major area where people hang out in the new zones, 65 to 70 level zones. So what ended up happening was everybody just came back to Tempest Bay, which is a lower level type area, but this is where everybody does their crafts and their mailbox and all that stuff. So like all these quests down here, I could do them if I want, but they're more for lower level stuff. See, like even it says these vendors or quest givers are level 60, level 65. You know, I'm 70. I don't need that stuff. So anyways, you can do some more exploring around Tempest Bay. Down here, I visit this guy a lot because I'm an artifact collector, and we'll talk more about artifacts later, but this is one of the many spots you can turn them in. The special bounty type artifact sets you can turn in with these guys or this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn, I got two, so I'll turn these in while I'm here just to show you guys. You get a little reward. Finished that artifact set, and I finished this artifact set. So you get a little box of some kind depending on the level.
Always a pleasure.
Just finished that to get it done. Once again, if you saw my previous video, you know I'm doing these minion quests as these 1-minute quests a lot, just to bump up the EXP of these lower minions at the bottom of my list here that don't get a lot of attention. Plus, I want to get the achievement for total minion quest run, which is like 50k for me is the next one. So anyways, you want to go up these ladders for some of the rift quests, and there's old raid gear and vendors up there and whatnot. So that's about it as far as what you need to know for Tempest Bay. I want to talk more about equipment and wardrobe. Where would be a fun place to do that? Hey, why not right here? Why not, right? Okay. Equipment. So again, in my first video, I talked about these two pieces. These aren't my true gear pieces. These two gold, this helmet and this shoulder, they give me token boost. And also this axe will give me a token boost. So those aren't my strongest pieces in those slots, but I do keep them in my bag for when I'm in Tempest Bay. I can swap them out and get more coin. So I'm going to go ahead and swap them back out for my real gear. As you see how you could do this, as long as you carry it in your bag, you could swap them out easy. As soon as I put my cursor on this helmet, it gives me all the other helmets in my bag, and you just click on it, boom. And we'll do the same for my shoulders, and the same with this weapon. Okay, so these are my real current pieces of gear. You know, a lot of you, I'm sure, know all this, but just in case with the beginners, you know, you got helmet, cape, shoulders, chest, hands or gloves, belt, legs, feet. For me, I have the two one-hand weapons, and I have a bow, which is my ranged. You have two earring slots, you have the necklace, you have the trinket, you have two ring slots, you have a synergy crystal of some kind, and you have a seal. And then down here, you have your essences. First of all, you have a planar focus, which is like the holder of the essences. And this one has 6. My essences stink right now. I definitely have to work on getting better essences. And I'll be working on that in a future video, I'm sure. The new raid rifts with the Vostagar Peaks zone gives essences a lot. So there's that. You know, you can click on each one for all the stats and whatnot. Let's talk about upgrade paths. A while back they started upgrade paths for gear, and that's anytime you see these little arrows, that means it's possible to upgrade. As you see, this belt has no arrows because I've already upgraded it to its maximum ability. Let's look at the helmet. So you just Alt-click it, and it'll give you your upgrade path. So basically, it's you know, trying to get people to get better gear with skill than just buying stuff on the store. So for this one, for the next level, I'll be going from an infused chondritic hood, I don't even know how to pronounce that, to a energized chondritic hood. So what I need is, I already got the main thing, which is 200 air invasions. Then I gotta get some prophetic textile amenders going. I need more of these celestial matrixes, and then 1,000 planar pellets. These are all their own story. You know, different ways to get different stuff. But when I get all that, I'll be able to upgrade this. Now let's talk about same idea with my bow. I just upgraded this actually, so I'm just starting the next upgrade path. You see these death rifts. I'm only 1 out of 50 so far. So I got to do 50 death rifts. That give experience just to get this one part. Weapon amenders, and then celestial matrix again. I do have some of these Tenebran engines stored away. So that's kind of the idea of upgrading. As you can see, some of these essences can be upgraded also. So that's your basic gear and upgrade stuff. There's also a different level that's similar to essences, but it's planar fragments. So just think of these as like little extra essences, but there's a lot of them. And they're all, you know, this can only be death. This one can only be air. This one can only be life. This one can only be fire. All these are different planes based. So this is what you start out with. I haven't bought like any extra unlocks or any of this yet. But basically, let's start with this death one. So as you see, it says infusion level 7 in white there. That means I've upgraded this 7 times. These are, you know, endlessly upgradable. So my opinion is do whatever you want. Don't buy these as you're leveling. And then when you do get to level 70, just focus on the purple level essences, because the green and the white, they're not even worth doing. I mean, some of the blue too. I guess blue and purple. Because some of these are kind of hard to get that many purples for all these different spots. So don't worry about the white level essences or the green. Just go with blue and purple. So this one's a blue, and it gives you my stats there. This isn't my best fragment, but it does have physical crit on there, which you definitely need. I don't really need block and dodge as much, but that's what I had at the time, and until I find another one better, and I will also have to get something better that's better than this after being upgraded 7 times, then I will replace it. This one is a purple. As you see, it has 4 different stats instead of 3, so usually the purples are better. This one I've upgraded 8 times. You see infusion level 8. There's another purple. As you see, I've upgraded this one 11 times. It's an infusion level 11. So as you see, you just get different stats. And as a rogue, I want the physical crit. I want, you know, dexterity. I want attack power. You know, crit power. You know, those are my big ones. I personally always want endurance because I don't like dying. But everybody wants endurance. So you get the picture. This is my fire one. This is my earth one. To level 8. This is an air one. That's level 8. See, eventually all these blues I will be replacing with purples as I get them. There's another purple that's at 8. There's a purple that's at 9. With its stats. Blue. There's another purple. Level 9. And this one. Okay, so I will show you how to infuse or upgrade a planar fragment. It costs money, basically. So let's stay away from upgrading any more of my blues. Let's try to upgrade one of my purples. This is level 8. Let's see. This is also level 8. Let's go with one of these purple level 8s, shall we? How about this one, my plane of water? So you click this little button. It brings up your infusion box here in your infusion window. It says you're currently at level 8. This is what you will get at the next infusion level, 164. So I'm at 159 right now, and these are the secondary stats. These secondary stats just kind of increase whenever they increase, but this main stat, it tells you what you're going to get for the next one. Now, just to infuse once, it's going to cost me 12 platinum and 50 gold and 2 of these cosmic water cores. These cosmic cores of the different planes, you will pile a lot of these up because you get these from recycling all of the planar fragments you don't want. So, like I said, the white ones, and the green level planar fragments. You'll be recycling all those. So when you recycle them, you get these from each plane, and this is the one from water. So let's go ahead and infuse. This is your infusion bar, but just because you infuse once doesn't mean it's gonna do the whole bar. So let's see what happens. Let's infuse. Magic. Oh, awesome. So that was a critical infusion. So I did get one whole level with only one infusion. That's best case scenario. But let's keep spending some plat and some of these cores just to show you that that doesn't always happen. Maybe we'll try to get it to level 10. See, I only got this much, not even 25% more on that one, and it still cost me the same amount. So let's try again and again and again. This is how Tryon will get you to spend all your plat and all your resources here. Especially because you got so many. See, I've already spent, what, 36 plat? And I'm not even halfway on this level. Let's make it 48 plat. Why not? Let's just see my plat dwindle away. Now we're at 50 whopping percent on one level. Aha! Okay. So that last one got in the rest of the next 50%. So now we got up to 10. So now our stats are higher than they were. And they're just little tiny increases. So you get the picture. That's what you can do with each one of these over time. Okay, that's planar fragments. Let's go back to this. Oh, and this is your stats page. So I had it on here earlier when it was just showing my graphics of Korthluger here. But I usually keep it on the stats page because it still has all my weapons and all my equipment up here, but I could see my actual dexterity. Now you see this one highlighted in blue, this one highlighted in blue? That means those are specific to who you are. To this, in this case, I'm a rogue. So rogues need this and rogues need this. So you definitely want to pile up on those stats when you can. You know, everything else is kind of what I was talking about before. I like physical crit. I like crit power. Hit is very important because you can't, literally, you can't be worth anything in certain instances, certain dungeons, certain raids without a certain level of hit. So you will get that as you go along. One thing I didn't talk about is orbs. Orbs and runes. So as you see on the stats on my helmet here, in blue, it says Dream Orb. These, you just get a Dream Orb and you put it on there, and the stats are kind of uncontrollable. You just get what you get. If you do want to waste another orb and just put it over this one, just to take a chance and get different stats, you're not going to know what stats those will be either, but you can do that. Dexterity is good, endurance is good, so I left it here. Oh yeah, belt also has a Dream Orb. See, again, I got dexterity and endurance, these blue stats there. So you'll see that as you go. Let's see. Okay, here's a rune. I do have to check all my runes and all my orbs to make sure I'm maxed out here, but you see in the green color stats there, that's the rune on my legs for, again, dexterity and endurance. So you know, certain runes will only work for certain pieces of gear, certain orbs will only work for certain pieces of gear. So you know, make sure you handle that as well, because you don't want to just be walking around when you could have all these stats, orbs and runes you're not paying attention to, like me sometimes. So let's talk about wardrobe. All right. So wardrobe's pretty fun. I do have to say before we start about the wardrobe that it used to be a lot harder. Basically, they made a lot of changes to wardrobe, I don't know, a year and a half ago. Maybe, what, 2015 or so. Where now to own the look of an item, the wardrobe look of an item, let's say this helmet, this glorious plate helm, you would only have to have this helm in your possession once. So as long as this helmet gets in your bag once, you can take it right back out of your bag and give it to your friend. It doesn't matter. So as long as you're not going to use it for your equipment stats, what do you care anyway? So once you have it in your bag, you have that look, and it's available for your wardrobe. So that's kind of big because now guild members swap a lot of wardrobe pieces back and forth, you know, and there's achievements based on wardrobe now, so people want to chase those achievements. So let's talk more about this. So you know, before that change where you just had to own it once in your bag, to do wardrobe, you had to have all the pieces in your possession, in your bank somewhere. I literally had at least 2 vaults in my bank full of just gear I didn't need, just because I was holding it for wardrobe purposes. So it is a lot better that I don't have to do that. But and I guess it gets a lot more people in the wardrobe because it's easier. I got a lot of my wardrobe sets before that change, but I've got a couple more since, and I'm okay with it. It's fun now. So basically, you come down here, and right now I don't have them named. I don't have any of my wardrobes, outfits named. This is just a number. So this is number 11. This little hanger thing is no wardrobe, just to see what the gear you're really wearing looks like. So this is the gear I'm really wearing, and it doesn't look that great per se. We'll go through some of these. Let's zoom in on the real Korthluger here. Maybe we'll get out of our mount. And how about let's do a special victory dance while we look at wardrobe, okay? Just to make it fun. Funner. So this is the no wardrobe set. This is what my actual gear looks like. This is my first, I call this like way back to somewhat vanilla Rift, early Rift year, or first year or so. This is kind of my early green level leathers. So it's kind of, I don't want to get rid of it because that's back when I sucked so bad, and I never had any plat for anything. I had one mount for like my first 30 levels or something. This gear and basic stats. I was on a PvP server. Well, there was a lot more of those back then, and I'd just get killed when I'd be trying to quest, all the time. So, fun memories of those days. But, I can't get rid of this gear set either. Guardian gear. This is the old school Storm Legion gear. Now that they've brought back Storm Legion with Fostergar Peaks, it kind of plays in again. This is just another piece. This is like, I forget what these are called. Sand covered. Yeah, this is like the sand covered wardrobe, which a lot of people have. It's easy to get. This is the costume pieces. I just happen to add this helmet to it just because I thought it looks cool. This was the first ever wardrobe I had that I actually dyed and changed the colors from what they started with. So I remember I dyed all this grayish, charcoalish, grayish, light blackish color, including the Scar and Hide helmet, which is what used to be a big deal to craft these, and everybody wanted them back in the day. But it really was this color. It was like an orange color, so I even made that the same charcoal / black. We'll talk more about dyeing in a minute. This is Ceremonial Heroes Wardrobe. That's another one that's easy to get. I just added this helmet. Let's see. Oh, Nihilist gear. This is a cool set. I like this one. And then again, you're not seeing the weapons, but each one I've kind of got weapons that match. Like these weapons are kind of reddish, brownish. They'll match more. Now this guy looks more white, but he used to be more dark gray. Again, another wardrobe change that Tryon did was they wanted to charge people more for all these different colors that people were dyeing things. So some of these colors, when you would actually use it, it wouldn't be the color it was supposed to be. So they fixed that. And so this is how this wardrobe should have looked the whole time, but back how I used to have it when I first made this was more of a blackish looking color. And you know, I still think it looks cool this way, white, so I haven't changed it. This one was pretty cool. I like this one just because I didn't have any green at the time, any green wardrobes. So he's cool. It's another old one. That helmet's pretty easy to get. Here's where we started. Here is the Defiant Guard gear. Another one I made, I dyed this one. This one's a little lighter when they made those changes to the colors. It used to be a little darker, but it basically was kind of gold before. Now it's kind of light gold / off yellow kind of color, but it's still cool. Here's another basic one with the helmet. This helmet's like an early warrior type helmet. This is another one. I think this helmet reminds me of one of the earlier Rage pieces, but might not be. Anyways, this is another one. You can see the ones that are not true sets, the ones I actually made, and of different pieces from different sets. This is when Tenebrian stuff all came out. I found this Cape of the Architect that I liked. I don't like it just because it was kind of orangish. And this is pretty much a set. All this stuff. And some of these were just costume type gear, and some of these were raid gear that I kept. I think this was lower level raid gear. For level 70. I can't remember. Oh, this one I just changed just because Christmas just passed. I haven't changed it back yet. A lot of Christmas stuff, so I just made that. It's supposed to be temporary, but there you go. This one I just made because that Tenebrian one I just showed you was kind of the only orangish one I had, so I was trying to make something orange, and I always liked this helmet, so I just rolled with it. Another tip, like if you're trying to make something that looks cool, you know, of course you have to have a lot of wardrobe items to pick from first that you've actually collected over time, but always start with a helmet and or chest. You know, if you find a really cool chest piece or a really cool helmet, 75% of the time it'll be a really cool helmet, and then you build everything else around it. 25% of the time you find a really cool chest and build everything else around it. This one has a flaming bow, which is really cool. This one, I think I fixed this one, yeah, because This is the real colors I wanted it. However, the cape doesn't quite match as much as it used to. This was another one that was affected by the color changes, but it looks pretty close to what I had. It was dark cobalt blue. But again, just pieces I took from other things. This helmet has nothing to do with these other gear pieces, you know. I just liked it. So that's number 19. Got a lot more. This one kind of, I don't know, this one's kind of basic. I might be changing this one or using it for something else soon. I just fixed the colors on this one because this one was looking all weird after the color changes. But another good one. This one I really like because I just got this helmet, I believe, in the Christmas seasonal event, which is Fayule. There was a bunch of different helmets you could get, and I forget what it cost. I really liked it, and it went a heck of a lot better with this gear than the helmet I had before, especially because it's got the bluish eyes, and then all these like glowing bluish pieces are already here. So this is one of my favorites. Actually, this is the icon on my Twitch account right now, which could change. Here's this one. Again, I had this with a kind of a crappy helmet just because the helmet matched. Then I finally found this helmet that I liked a lot better, Abyssal Chain helmet. And it goes a lot better with this color scheme, what have you. This one, as you can see, the original colors of this chest was purple and aqua. And I don't know, it just, the purple kind of got to me. Not that I'm against purple, but it just was a little, like, kind of my most girly looking wardrobe, if it's lack of a better way of saying it. So, finally got the idea of, I wanted to use this deep diver helmet for a while. Just plugged that on there and started messing around and came up with trying to make it like a deep sea green. It looks a lot better than purple and silver and all that crud. So again, you can just get ideas from all these different ones. Let's see. Oh, this is my Halloween one. I probably made a good 3 or 4 Halloweens ago. You can see he actually has his one-handers on him, and they're flaming. They're on fire, so... oh, that's because I have the cape deactivated. When you have the cape deactivated, you can see the one-handers everywhere. See that? I brought his cape back. One of the hardest capes that we get during the season. Okay, this was another one that I just replaced the helmet a while back. I think it looks a lot better. I like the blue and yellow going on. This one's, I call this my Plain Touch Wilds gear, just because it kind of fits that zone the most. Again, this helmet had nothing to do with the rest of the set. Actually, the set is altogether Infernal Cloth, but like the Infernal Cloth helm looked weird to me, so I found this, paired it up, and then actually see how I dyed it a little darker. It says dark orange, but to me it's like orangish brownish, which you know, matches the whole Plain Touch Wilds. You see the V on this cape. This cape was actually for the Rift's anniversary. I think that was the 5th anniversary. So you see these dyeing as we go. You know, there's 2 boxes for each, which is primary and secondary color scheme for each piece. So you can see, like, this one has an orange on both. This one has light orange and dark orange on the cape. Blah, blah, blah. This one has nothing on the second one. You look at each one. This is just a costume piece. It's easy to get. jester looking guy. This is probably my favorite wardrobe. I created this a while back. Actually, this helm was from way back, Forge Masters Inferno, where it was it's a temporary thing. They've done this a few times where they'll say, pay us 20 bucks and you'll get 20 bucks of credits plus you'll get a bonus item. And sometimes it's a mount. Like I've done that for my shark mount, this one over here. But I've only done it 2 times. I did it for this Nightmare Thresher back in the day, and then I did it for this helmet. I forget what the amount of money I had to pay, but I wanted credits anyway, so the bonus was cool. Then again, he's got these torches that are on fire for his one's hands, and he's got a bow that's on fire. But I basically decided to dye the helmet or the skull black and, you know, keep it on fire. And then this set is pretty cool. This Archangelix set with this Forge Master Inferno. I think it looks really good. And then I dyed a lot of this black. So anyways, this is one of my favorites. I don't have a name for it, but you get the idea. This one is from the Plane of Water. This was raid gear. Was this raid? I think this was raid 2 gear from the Plane of Water times, Stromheim, Tarkin, all that stuff. So, and he's got some Nightmare one-handers. You can see the eyeball moving on his hammers. I just use those because they match. But yeah, so this is like a set. And I've always liked that, and I always like green, so. And then, let's see. Here's when I'm in Tarkin or parts of Ostagar now, where he's all snowy and icy. I can blend right in with this ice baby gear. Oh, that's dating me a little bit. So then this was some raid gear pieces. This helmet. God, it's hard to remember all this stuff. But anyway, I ended up dyeing this a combination of yellow and white. I don't know if it's because I just ran out of the special white dye you need. I can't remember what I was doing when I made it, but I still think it looks cool with the yellow and white. I think I was matching it to a particular amount. Then there's this one. This was some kind of raid gear set. I forget which one this was. And then this is my Batman. Bat helmet, bat mask, wardrobe, with the bat cape. This is another one that turned kind of a different color. It was more of like a lime green, a darker lime green, and now it's kind of like a off yellowish. But hey, it still matches, so it still looks good. So that's about it with wardrobe. Like I said, you can go to anywhere and get any kind of wardrobe piece. Let's just show you kind of an example. Anytime you get any wardrobe piece, it's going to go in your collection of able to be used in a wardrobe set. So, like in my past video, I said I'm a guild leader, so let me look at my guild bank just to show you. We have one of the vaults that's just filled with gear.
Ascended.
For people that are leveling. So any of this gear, you can just go, oh, I don't have this in my collection. As you see down in the stats for this helmet, in the gray verbiage there, you have already collected this wardrobe appearance, blah, blah, blah. If I hadn't collected this, that would be green. So you could just go all over all these, and when one of them's green instead of gray, at the bottom there, you know you don't have it. And all you need to do is go, boom, it's in my bag, now I own it. And you can put it right back if you want. That's all it takes. So,
Death to the
you know,
dragon.
that's kind of it. Let me talk about dyes. Just, I'm not like the biggest on that right now, but just to cover. So let's say, you know, I wanted to change the color of this bat mask. Now, another thing they did when they changed the colors, they wanted to sell the dyes for credits. So if you didn't already have a particular color unlocked for you, most of those colors were going to be locked. So all these colors that don't have the lock, you know, the lock on them, the lock graphic, were the ones I already had unlocked before all those changes. So I got a good number still. I got some blues, I got some greens, you know, what have you. So let's see. So like this is the main color. Let's say if I pick pink, well, you know, that's how it works. I don't think this does much for the secondary color. Okay, it turned his teeth pink. So you see how the primary and the secondary work? Sometimes the secondary is more represented than that. In this case, it's just the teeth. You can come over here and just exit out if you don't want those. Those teeth went back to normal. And I will just change this back, or just X this out, and it'll go back to what was saved. So if you don't save anything, if you just X out of this whole box, it won't change it. It'll go back to what it was. Like this color, light yellow. That's basically it. And you'll find, you know, different ways to buy different wardrobe sets and whatnot. But you get the basic idea. Wardrobes are kind of fun. Oh, while we're talking about it, here's the achievement page. See, there's a whole section just on wardrobe. So that's why people go after wardrobe. It's just like a collection, like anything. Like I said before, I'm a hoarder, so I collect everything. I collect artifacts. I collect wardrobe, you know, everything. So, you know, like this one's just for cape appearances. I have 55, and I'll get, if I get 90, it'll be the next achievement level. And all these different ones for different pieces of wardrobe. So that is the goal for wardrobe and what people shoot for, and why they even care, other than looking cool. Alright, and then I will switch back to the one I started with. There we are, and I think that will do it. That will be a wrap, and we will see you guys next time.